Hi crafters, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and I have a quick stenciled and stamped joy card to share with you, so let's jump right in. Now in this video I'm going to use a pre-batched item. Now this formerly chocolate box contains a ton of different card panels. Sometimes I just feel like trying different techniques or having a little play, but not necessarily turning it into a card. So don't feel like you have to turn every panel into a card. You should start a box like this, and then that way if you need to make a card in a jiffy or don't necessarily want to do all the components, then you might have part of it already ready to go. So this works out really well for me, having a box of these on hand. Now this panel that I ended up choosing to create the card with is actually a stenciled background. This is the mid-century geometric stencil from A Colorful Life Designs, and I do have a coupon, AmyFan10. If you shop, you can save 10% on your complete order. But this was just some very simple ink blending, kind of heavier handed in the corners and lighter handed in the center. And I'm going to use this older stamp set from Concord and Ninth. I've had it in my stash, haven't used it yet, but it's really cool. You can make Oh Joy, Enjoy, or just Joy, and then it's got all these other little sub-sentiments. So if this is still available, I will link it in the video description box below. So expand and scroll down there to find those details. But basically I'm just going to do some very simple stamping, and here's a photo of the finished card. So you can see I am going to attach that panel directly to a card base, but I'm going to stamp on it first. So these nice, big, imposing, scripty fonts are really nice for creating just kind of a built-in focal point on the front of your card. And I'm actually just going to do the same color ink for both that little sub-sentiment as well as the big joy in the middle. So I'm realizing now on the screen that this looks a little bit like red and green, but in person it's actually more teal and kind of corally, so it almost has a little bit of a rainbow feel, but it's muted because it's done directly on that yellow colored cardstock. So this is a fun way to kind of use what you have in your stash, and if you aren't really sure how to use up your colored cardstock, then maybe think about ink blending on top of it with your stencils, because you can create kind of an unexpected different look. Now here I have this kind of tealish green ink pad from Catherine Pooler. I thought it would work well with the colors that I had previously ink blended. I don't remember what colors I would have used because I don't even remember making this or how long it's been in my box, but it did thankfully end up coordinating well and working out. So it says, "May you always find joy," and I attached that directly to the card base. That's US size A2, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And I am just going to take another one of those little sub-sentiments, condition it with my finger because I haven't used it before, and I'm just going to freehand stamp that onto the inside of this card base with an acrylic block. So here I'm risking it. If you don't want to risk it, you can use your MISTI, or if you have some sort of stamp positioner. Now you can see here, for some reason, the little dot on the exclamation point didn't stamp. So I actually have this Zig blender, and I'm just doing just the finest little touch onto that same ink pad color just to create a little dot to finish it. So if you have one of these blenders, it's really handy, especially with Catherine Pooler inks, because if for some reason something doesn't stamp well, or you have like a little splotch in like a solid stamp, it's a really handy tool to kind of fix your mistakes. Now here I'm just going to add a little bit of blingage. These are kind of iridescent, clear, pretty sequins, and I'm going to use some liquid glue and my jewel picker just to add those in odd numbers. So I have 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and that's going to finish this design. So again, if you need to make a card in a hurry, or you want a quick batch, a bunch of cards, maybe for a donation, or maybe for your church or something like that, then it's really nice to have a card box on hand with a bunch of panels ready to go. So thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.